with our program today. But welcome and good afternoon. For those of you who might not know me, my name is Nikki Fennern. I serve Judson University, and as I always say, more importantly, I serve our students and our former students as the Executive Vice President. So in my role here at Judson, it's my privilege to work with graduate and undergraduate admissions and enrollment, financial aid, marketing. I've worked with intercollegiate athletics, and it's a great joy to serve on the Hall of Fame committee. You know, when I arrived here in October of 19, it's very clear the impact of athletics. And athletics just keeps growing and having more impact on this campus. Right now, about 70% of our students on the Judson campus are intercollegiate athletes, and we're very excited about that fact. Congratulations, of course, to Josh and to the members of the 98-99 women's basketball team. I certainly hope that this day brings back great memories of your time at Judson as a scholar athlete. And we hope that you truly soak in the moment and relish this time back on the campus and being together as a team. I can really sense that energy. I can sense that team energy and how good it is for all of you to be together. And while you set records as a team, you're setting another record, because I believe we have the first 6 people in Judson history who will be inducted into the Hall of Fame not once, but twice. So congratulations. So I've had the honor and privilege of working within intercollegiate athletics for the past 25 years, and I did a little counting. This is the 19th time that I've got to be involved in organization, planning, and speaking at a Hall of Fame event. So I decided to reflect on that for just a little bit, and there's 2 times that were the most exciting for me, that I enjoyed the most. The first one was when I personally got to induct 2 of my own athletes into their Hall of Fame. What a great moment. I don't know who was happier, if it was me, if it was their families, or if it was the athletes. And so for Rick, for Tori, when you get to induct people into the Hall of Fame, what a great honor. And I know how wonderful that's going to be for you when you take these people that you love and that you know, and you get to say for the first time, introduce them as Hall of Famers. So enjoy that moment, and I know how special it will be for you. The second most favorite time for me was at a former institution where we got to induct a team into the Hall of Fame. And there's only one other time in my experience that we got to induct a team. It just feels different when you induct a team. The sense of the team mentality, the reunion of people, the energy in the room, much like I'm feeling right now, really comes together when you get to induct a team into the Hall of Fame. You could sense the team dynamics. And you know, we're at an institution of higher education, so I have to put a definition out there, right? According to Active Collab, team dynamics refers to the relationship and interactions between team members that can affect their productivity and performance. It encompasses how team members communicate, collaborate, and coordinate their efforts to achieve a shared goal. A range of factors can influence team dynamics, including individual personality traits, work styles, attitudes, and external factors. Now, I would never dream to say what the team dynamics were in 98, 99, the years before and the years after. However, you don't experience the type of success that you all have without great leadership, communication, collaboration, and coordination on the part of the coaches and team members. Every team also has a wide variety of personality traits. Do you have that on your team? No, none at all? Work styles, attitudes, and they come together to create a team culture. But what every successful coach and team understands is that it is the coordination of these traits, the sacrifice of the athletes to alter their own traits for the betterment of the team, and the development of the work ethic it takes for the team to have national success. That's the hard part. That's the hard part. And it's the difference in most teams between being good and being great. Building culture for success is something that not every athlete gets to experience. And I'm so glad that you all got to experience that. We are all so excited for you and tremendously proud. So you all have left a legacy, and we appreciate that so much. And I'm so glad that members of our current women's basketball team are here so that they can experience that legacy and soak up the success and soak up what it really takes to be at an elite level as a team. And because of the foundation that you all have led, Judson Athletics is on the move. And on the move spiritually, competitively, and within growth. Spiritually, in mid-August, before classes even started, Rick Williams and a lot of other people held chapel for our athletes, our fall athletes, and during that time, more than 20 athletes came to stage and committed their lives to Christ or recommitted their lives to Christ. Amen. You can clap for that. Our athletes continue to come from all over the world and all over the country, contributing to the great diversity and culture on our campus. They're receiving individual conference and national awards. Our teams are competing well, highlighted last year by our women's volleyball team, who won the CCAC championship and went to the NAIA national tournament. They're being recognized for their academic awards. They are serving through local volunteering and global mission trips, including trips to Costa Rica, Belize, Scotland, and Washington, D.C. But most importantly, they're developing themselves and others in their relationship with Christ through activities such as university ministries, chapel, and fellowship of Christian athletes. And Jennifer, thanks for sharing just some great stories about your time as an athlete and as a student and the great movement that Christ has on our campus, not only through athletics, but through the whole campus. So Judson Athletics is on the move, and it's not possible with the foundation that you all have laid. So thank you very much for setting a legacy, setting a tone, and being great role models for all of our students here at Judson University. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. We are very proud of you. So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our athletic director and a member of the Judson University Hall of Fame, Rick Williams.
Okay, let me tell you guys a little bit about the team dynamics on this team that we're here to honor today. Okay, here are the dynamics that I remember. You guys know the curtain that's in our gym that divides the side court from the full court? When they were practicing, it was a bad idea to stand near that curtain because we would practice together. We'd be on this side, they'd be on that side, and there was so much running going on their end that they would literally hit you with the curtain. And every time I see that now, I'm reminded of this team. I want you guys to know, truly, I look up to every last one of you. I always have, and I always will. I remember being on this campus, sharing this community with you guys, and learning so much about what it takes to be successful on and off the court. And it is just such an awesome full circle moment for me to stand here as the AD and to sort of facilitate this opportunity. Before we get into that, the first thing that I want to do, I think I can do it without my phone, is honor, and actually I can't. No, I don't want to mess anybody's name up. We want to honor all of our current Hall of Famers. So if you're currently in the Hall of Fame, we want to honor you first before we introduce the new people. Proverbs 27, 1 and 2 says, "Don't boast about tomorrow, for you don't know what a day might bring. Let another praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips." And that's why we're here. So I want you guys to know that as you're playing your career currently, it isn't that you're going to play it with the mindset of, I hope that I go into the Hall of Fame one day. You're going to play as hard as you possibly can. But when your time comes, we are so thankful for Nancy and the Hall of Fame committee at Judson that have put this together and give us an opportunity to say, we recognize you and we see you. So let's recognize our attending former inductees. Shauna Sipes. When I say your names, you can stand up. Heather Johnson. Jennifer Alderson. Megan Johnson. Kristen DeBoer. Jody Sutton. Deborah Wiseman. And the one and only Tori Gum. And, and with all the joy in the world, Cheryl Jen. Gosh. This is the problem. There are too many Hall of Famers on this one team. That's the problem. This would be the point in our program where we would shift to introducing Josh Edwards, our first honoree. Josh let us know after the program was made that he couldn't make it, so we're sorry that he couldn't be here, but we still want to honor him. He had an outstanding career here. He is arguably, and not even arguably, statistically, he is the greatest shooter in the history of men's basketball here at Judson. So we appreciate him. We're going to get him up on our wall, so let's give him a round of applause in absence. All right. I have tried to coach basketball for over 20 years now. And as I've tried, it is one of the people I'm trying to emulate the best that I can is Mr. Torrey Gum. Let's welcome him.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming out. I want to thank President Kroom, firstly, for his leadership here at our sweet Judson. Ricky Williams, loved watching that man dunk. That was a treat of mine when he was playing. Coach Matt Richter, so proud of him and all of his hard work. Obviously, the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for picking this incredible group of women. Also want to say a special thank you to my coaching staff. Sadly, the late Tom Kendall, Coach Lisa Pickle, and Danny Wingate. They were wonderful assistants to our team and obviously to me. Coach Pickle's in Kansas today, could not join us, but she wrote a note to the kids, ladies, sorry. It's a couple years since you were kids, sorry. Hey girls, hope this finds you all well. Congrats on this really special honor. You were a special team. I'm very honored to be a small part of it. I'm so proud of the women you have become. I'm especially proud of all the friendships. Wow, what in the world? Yeah, you've all kept through the years. Whew. How about this? This is weird. We're just getting started. That's what it's all about. I sincerely wish the very best for all of you, and I can't stress enough how proud of you all that she is. There you go. Golly, I'm not even done yet. All right, let's move on to something basketball related. Oh, this isn't good because I want to thank my wife, Sandy. Okay, this will be easy. Who raised our 5 kids while I was having fun at the gym with this awesome program for 15 years. So thanks, baby. And also, thank you, Josh. I want to welcome him to the hall. So we'll get a better chance to hug him for that here in the near future, I'm sure. Mostly, I want to say thank you to the 11 strong Lady Eagles being honored here today. Wow, this is so bizarre. We got to get my act together here, but we'll start talking about numbers here in a second. I'll be a lot better. Love these ladies. Now, there's zero chance, just so you know, that I can describe this group in 5 minutes, but buckle up as I give it my best effort today. The first word that came to mind was special, no doubt about it, when I first thought of how to describe them. You've read about their accomplishments in the program, but I wanted to share a few additional details for context. It's important to realize that there are 234 women's basketball teams in the NAIA from around the country. So being one of the 32 selected for the national tournament was always a tremendous accomplishment for us. But then to know that out of those 234, there were only 8 teams left that year, and Judson was one of them. It was humbling, it was a massive honor, and completely a tribute to their ridiculous work ethic. Furthermore, as a sign of their resilience, this was fun, we started the season with 1 win and 3 losses. It was a rough start, man. But after that, they went on a 6-game winning streak. And that's when our coaching staff realized that we had something special that was developing right before our eyes. Additionally, after Christmas break, they won 15 out of 18 games, with one of those 3 losses coming by a single point. One of my favorite memories was beating our conference rival, whose name I am unable to utter publicly today, in all 3 games, and that was just such a treat. They had their way with us in the past, and that was a sweet remembrance for me. And then obviously the historic run that these ladies made through the national field. Now, please don't misunderstand me. These women were not big on warm and fuzzy practice sessions. This is one of the feistiest group of humans that I ever had the honor to coach, hands down. And actually, some describe them as a little bit emotionally unstable. and it wasn't wrong. So there was a description about having a tiger by the tail, and that was a good word picture for this motley crew. But you understand, they were absolutely a handful and absolutely loved each and every one of them. However, that intensity played well on game day when they would channel that energy together and against their opponent and play defense like few teams that I have ever seen in my life. Because literally, when push came to shove versus the opponent, these 11 athletes had a tenacity that was special to watch unfold. And I'll share a powerful example with you of that in a second. But first, let me tell you a little bit about their historic run through the national tournament. And like anything historic, it didn't come without fierce challenge. Now, even just on a personal note, my bride was overdue with our 3rd child. So behind the scenes, Tommy and I were talking about how he was going to take the team to nationals and I was going to stay at home, and I would call him. We didn't know what in the world we were going to do. But however, our only son, Jordan, was born the day before before we left for the nationals. So I stayed the night in the hospital with Sandy and Jordan, ran home in the morning, I grabbed a suit, and then we headed to the airport. We faced Urbana of Ohio in the first round and were absolutely projected to get drilled in that game. They were the 4th rated offense in the country, averaging over 86 points a game, and that was admirable, and they came to nationals with great confidence. However, they had 0 common sense. So I'll explain that now. At the national tournament, they have this awesome tradition where all 32 teams at nationals line up in the tunnel in the evening, and behind the stadium, the teams then line up and you go out onto the basketball court and they spell this huge NAI. It's this awesome thing, and up in the balcony they take a photo. It's a really cool shot that we got at the end of the tournament. However, the Urbana players had the idiotic idea that as the Lady Eagles walked by them in the tunnel, they repeated the phrase, "You can't guard me, you can't guard me." Oh my gosh. Let's just say the next morning when we had our opening round matchup against the same Urbana team, I didn't need to give a pregame speech. These women were lathered up from the moment they got up that day, and those poor Ohio kids, they had no idea that they had more than poked the bear for the Lady Eagles. And needless to say, that day, the number 4 ranked offense in the country ran into the 7th ranked defense in the country and was held to only 60 points that day, 26 less than their average that year, thanks to the bear-poked Lady Eagles. It was an astounding, that's sweet. It was an astounding W that none of us will ever forget. And to celebrate then, I quickly headed to the local department store because I needed another shirt and tie, because all of a sudden we had a game the next day for my one suit that I had grabbed. I was a hot mess, but they were really good, so they covered up all my sins. Next up was St. Thomas Aquinas, a team that had been to the NAI National Tournament. I kid you not, 9 previous seasons in a row they showed up at the NAI Nationals. So yes, once again, we were projected to get drilled. However, the players figured out very quickly that St. Thomas, they had a hard time staying in front of us defensively, so we made a slight offensive adjustment, and we ended up shooting 42 free throws that game against St. Thomas. That's always a winning formula, Coach. If you can shoot 42 free throws in a game, the other team has a hard time. So we sent them packing for an early spring break back in New York from whence they came. And then enter the Central Methodist out of Missouri was the evil empire that finally brought down the Lady Eagles. They had 4 All-American starters that year that they lauded in the media. They had a high school All-American, they had an academic All-American who was their point guard, a junior college All-American that transferred into their program, and a returning NAIA All-American who was back for her senior year. It was our 3rd game in 3 days, not as an excuse, but they were freakishly talented. And our starting center stepped off the elevated hardwood court in pregame, sprained her ankle. She was out for the game. I was like, are you kidding me? But that was the point where the most ferocious Cinderella team we had ever coached came to a screeching halt, but not before creating a memory of a lifetime for those of us who loved them. Lady Eagles, I'll end with this. There's a dynamic poem. It's probably weird for you to hear me reciting poems, but written by a British missionary to China, and I can't make this up. His name is C.T. Studd. So if you remember anything, you can go home and look that up. C.T. Studd. I was like, that's a cool name. But after Coach K passed away, it certainly inspired me. So I'll leave it as a spiritual challenge for you all today. The famously repeated line reads, there's only one life, and soon it will pass. Only what's done for Christ will last. And I pray this very thing for each of you, and that you may pursue it with much gusto. And just one last kind of inside joke for the Lady Eagles. You're welcome for all the Tommy videos. So ladies and gentlemen, would you join me in congratulating the 98-99 Judson Lady Eagles.
Okay, we're going to bring you guys up one at a time. All right, and
Oh, you want to do that first? Perfect. Okay.
so welcome to starting center. Both starting centers. Megan and Sam.
Oh, I don't like to be in front of a microphone. Well, this is so fun. What a really joy-filled experience to be with our former teammates and just all together in the same room. It's really fun. So I'll start by saying greetings, Lady Eagles. Tori, we hope you enjoyed your meal of chicken and water. It does not compare in any way to Valentino's or to Golden Corral. First, we want to say what an honor it is to receive this award on behalf of these amazing women and an amazing coaching staff. Second, for some of us, you know who you are, this would be the only way we would have gotten into the Hall of Fame. So I'm accepting this on behalf of those special few. We spent a lot of time thinking about what we could share today about each player and coach and what we remembered the most.
I'm gonna go a little rogue on this one.
Oh, go
So
rogue.
everyone likes to make fun of
Shocking.
the fact that I collect things. I will tell you, I did find the game film from Cardinal Stretch and our 2 games in Iowa. They are on VHS
She
in my
did.
garage. Matt can confirm. I was like, ooh, look at this. I also will tell you, I do not know why Urbana, at the time when we went to a tournament, you had to exchange gifts with the other team. I'm pretty sure we took them t-shirts or something really great. Paperweights. And I do still have it. So, for those of you that forgot about the paperweight, I do believe we actually wanted to give them back to them at the end, but paperweights. So, a little rogue on that. We want to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to our families. Your unwavering support has been a cornerstone not only during this year, but throughout all the years that brought us to that point. A big thank you to our professors as well, especially Professor Roberts, who is here and was at that game against Cardinal Stretch to go. Especially those who would share with us when Tori would find out that we weren't sitting in the first 2 rows of class. Your encouragement allowed us to excel as student athletes, ensuring we succeeded in the classroom just as much as we did on the court.
We also want to extend our appreciation to our dedicated practice squad. You challenge us to be better, not only for our own glory, but to help, not for your own glory, but to help us grow. Yes, you reminded us that of your speed and strength with a steal, a fast break, and a score, but your commitment to preparing us for our next opponent was invaluable. You are our loyal fans, sitting in the front row to cheer us on, keep the refs in check, and occasionally give the other team a little heckling. Your energy and support truly made a difference.
Thank you to the Lady Eagles who came before us. They laid the foundation and cultivated the culture we were proud to be a part of. They would return to support us and lead our devotionals. We are grateful for their guidance. We truly would not be the players, the team, or the individuals we are today without the love and support of you. Thank you. That part? Okay. Okay, we started off that season initiating some newbies, back when you could still do that kind of thing.
I did not remember this.
We
I got
woke them up from their sleep. Yeah, Leah hated it. We told them they weren't supposed to get ready. I'm pretty sure she snuck some makeup in there because she wasn't going anywhere without it. We made them wear their shooting shirts.
Like with our names
with
on
our
the
names
back?
on the back. And we took them down to the fitness center and took them up into the weight room. I don't recommend, you're not allowed to do this, no. We took them out the door of the weight room onto the roof and walked them along a middle piece and told them that they were walking on the edge of the building. We were terrible. Then we brought them back to Leonard Tower where they cooked us breakfast, and then they had to protect their basketball all day, to which the men's team made it their obsession to get those because there was going to be a punishment at the end of the day. Next part.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
I can do it.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about each of our team members. We reached out to the team to kind of get some input, and this is the culmination of where we are. Leah.
We had to start with you, Leah.
Leah liked to refer to herself in third person. For those of you that aren't aware, Leah doesn't go bowling, so please don't ever plan that as a team activity. She had one of the longest wingspans in the conference, and we were thankful she was on our team and not playing against her. She always had the glitter and the bows, and now we look forward to Leah's OOTDs. Mac could go off and score 25 like it was nothing and come back to us and say, I suck. She was unbelievable. She could do it all. Drive a packed lane, hit it from the outside, and lead a fast break. She was probably the most naturally gifted athlete on our team. She trusted us way too much and believed anything we would tell her. That still isn't Rob's kid, and there is a payphone in the training room. Hartwell, AKA Alaska. Still not sure how Tori convinced her to move to Elgin from Alaska. She was pretty quiet, especially with all the personalities on our team, but she had a fiery spirit on the court and a good sense of humor. Unselfish and hardworking, she was known for making steals and setting up her teammates with great passes. Cheryl. Cheryl was a beast on the boards and had the most infectious laugh, as you've all seen today. She was a hard worker that pushed the rest of us, but always managed to have fun doing it. Don't fall for her laugh. There was some very high competitiveness within her. We just never could figure out how she kept pulling down all those boards. Megan's been one of my closest friends for almost 30 years, and the other half of the Twin Towers. She had a special connection with everyone on the team, perhaps thanks to her background in psychology. Her ability to forge strong bonds with our teammates was truly remarkable, not to mention her presence in the lane and shot blocking. We are thankful she didn't hang up her basketball shoes after high school as she had originally planned.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Shauna. Shauna was probably the most fierce competitor on our team, an all-out hustler and baller, willing to throw her body all over the court. She was Tori's favorite, as they did name their daughter after her. Yeah, it's not up for debate. I remember her many faces when driving to the basket or pulling up for a three. Shauna expected effort and greatness from every one of us, and it pushed us to be better. Rach. Yes.
Rocket.
I don't remember if it was this year, but we remembered her bringing snacks on the bench to one game. I always admired Rachel's quiet determination. She had one of the best work ethics on the court, and she always made us better. Kush, this was her first year with our team transferring from Harper. She came into the program and made such a big difference. She was literally unstoppable. I always remember Heather as such a calm and quiet force. And it's so fun just to have her being such a part of Judson now, too. You were like unrattled, you know? Maybe not calm, like unrattled. D-Dub. Some of us on the team have bigger personalities than others, and this is Dawn. She was never afraid to tell you what she was thinking. Feisty thing. That was like the word that we all were like, she's feisty. She's still feisty. You could yell at each other on the court and hang out later that night. She's definitely the person that you would want on your side in a dark alley. Jode. She could always provide us with the defensive spark our team needed. She was the epitome of up in your shorts. I told Sam I had to be the one to talk about Jody because she's someone I used when I was coaching my older daughter's basketball team. I would tell this story about this girl I used to play with. And then I would be like, let me show you how she played defense. And I would be like, she's like, ball, 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 and all up in your face and your hands everywhere. And they were like, that is so annoying. And I'm like, I know, right? Like, but she did it. Like, and then they would get pissed and then they would not win. So that was such a fun memory and just one of the things that made Jody great. Sam. We'll just talk about the bruises and the screens, right? I mean, that's what you all remember about Sam. I can assure you that every person on this team experienced both of them. Sam made it her mission to search and destroy, literally. She was absolutely someone you would want next to you on the floor. Sam and I had a high-low connection on the floor that was unstoppable. She is one of my... I know, I didn't think I would do this like Tori.
Emotional.
She's one of my most long-standing friends. We've been through a lot together. I can't see now, though. Well, not because I need glasses, just the tears. And she's a person that I can call and count on for literally anything. Love you, Sam. Love you, too.
Okay. Pick. We loved all the stories about how when she played back in the day, my big gulp and my Snickers. I will tell you, the years that I coached, that kept running through my head, and I kept trying, don't be that person that's like, well, back when I played. Don't do that. So Pick was so relatable and someone we could go to. She had been in our shoes and was a college athlete, so she was able to coach us both on and off the court. Now the update you've all been waiting for. Wingate. So I tried my darndest to get him here. I told him that you guys would be so thrilled to see him, but I failed. We spent a couple hours texting back and forth the other day, and I filled him in on all your guys' updates, and he was so happy. And like his biggest comment when I sent pictures of everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, they haven't aged. They look exactly the same." So he doesn't have social media, so he was not caught up on anybody. But I can fill you in on more of his stuff later. He had a work event today, so he said he couldn't be here. He would have come yesterday or tomorrow, but I was like, that doesn't work for us. So he currently works in sales in Ohio and has 5 kids. He was a team favorite. Now looking back, it's hard to believe he was only 4 years older than Megan and I. Explains a lot. Yeah. As we caught up on the team and the time that passed, I asked him exactly how he got here. So his assistant coach, basketball coach at Malone, was friends with a dean here at Judson. So he found out there was an admissions opening and he didn't have anything going on, so he decided to apply for that. He said he went into the interview and Tori was on the interview committee. Well, of course, you know Tori, he found something out about him and found out he played basketball and, oh, your sister played Division I basketball. You should be on our coaching staff. Danny said no. And, you know, Tori doesn't listen to no. So he kept at it. And so that is how Danny ended up on our coaching staff and was here a few years later for that. Do you want to do Coach K? Yeah.
The late, great Coach K. He loved the game of basketball, having coached for so many years at Hoffman. He always had something to share with us, and we could always feel how much he cared about us. We all knew we didn't want to get stuck too long standing next to him in practice, though. He did like to talk. One of the things that made him great. He knew the game of basketball so well, and we know that he would have loved to be here with us. He is greatly missed. Okay, Tori and Sandy. Tori is the one that made the Ugg boots cool before they were cool. It's up for debate whether he was the best X's and O's coach, but he sure did surround himself with good coaching that made us all better and made him better. We could spend a whole luncheon just celebrating and maybe laughing about the great Tori Gum. Our War Room studies on dating and marriage, as you referred to, Tommy. All the quirky and funny things he would say. Sam and I were we were like, you stymies, remember? I was like, what does that even mean? Like, you stymies. His corduroy jacket and his boots, the long swimmer's coat, the sweatpants, and the Ugg boots to trek across practice. When I'm asked about the people who have influenced my life the most, Tori is always someone that I talk about. And I know we're all really proud to have played for him. Tori and Sandy, they opened our home to us. They fed us. They loved us. They forgave us when we made mistakes. And for some of us, they gave us the most safe place to land with structure and discipline. Okay, we're almost done. Although you could, we just want to share a special message to the current team. Although you could find a great deal of individual talent with this group, that wasn't what made us special. It was that we were better together. A common theme when asking all of the players just to share their input and their memories of our time together. Most of it wasn't even about basketball. It was just about our relationships. They were about funny moments and the long-standing relationships that we built, the ones that have withstood the last 25 years. We have a bond built by grueling preseason hill workouts. Kenya. I was like, Chinese fire drills, and I'm like, I don't even think you can say that anymore. I don't know. Study tables. No pop, no sugar, no fries. No more sugar. The blood, the sweat, and the tears. And since we've all laced up together, we've cheered each other on with marriages, births, jobs, kids, pets. We've supported one another through harder times than running hills, through deaths, losses, broken relationships, diagnosis, and many other hardships. For me, this is where I found my relationship with Christ and the man I would later marry, the friends I would have for life. We are a sisterhood and a family, and we've created a culture and a bond amongst us that can never be broken. I'll say for those of you who, however you got here, Sam and I were just talking about this the other night. It's no accident that you're here. It was no accident that I landed here after not planning to play college basketball anywhere. This was God's plan and design for my life, and I can see it woven throughout my whole life. So if you're unsure and you don't know why you're here because God brought you here.
And I'll add to that and say, you might not see it immediately or down the road, but eventually somewhere at some point you'll turn a corner and you'll be like, oh, that's why I was here. I tried to escape and showed up on a phone call one day and was like, oh, that's why I was here. And clearly I'm here and I want you guys to have what we had. So these memories and friendships are ones I'll cherish forever. We've been blessed to experience something that very few individuals get to enjoy, but over the past few weeks I've been reminded how truly special that year and our team were. These moments created a bond among us that will last a lifetime. Your time here and the memories you've made will unite you in a way that no one else will fully understand, except for the teammates that are sitting beside you. So make the most of this time together and continue the legacy. And I hope that you guys experience what we have 25 years from now.
I think I'm one of, I think I'm one of, if not the only person in this room that has the perspective of being able to see and experience this team, and also being able to see and experience this team. And what I want to do before we introduce every name is just make sure that you guys understand that we're talking about, like Megan said, that some of them aren't in the Hall of Fame on their own. But the truth is, all of them could be. If you talk about the beauty of accepting a role, every one of these women accepted their role and maximized it and did it better than I can remember anyone doing it. And so when I watch you guys play, I see a lot of you guys have the things that are on this team, right? It's right here. But we are here, and we wanted you guys to be here to feel the energy and to feel what can happen when you maximize your role, when you just embrace the fact that God brought you here, and you got to be the best version of yourself every single day. And we can honor you 25 years later, believe it or not, as fast as that went. All right. So we're going to call everybody's name out one at a time, and I'm going to start this time with Cheryl, Beyonce, Jed. Yes. Come up. Yeah, we're going to get your plaque, and then we'll take a quick photo. Samantha Collins, no, stay up, stay up. Yeah, stay up and we'll do a team photo at the end. Clap for them one at a time, Samantha. Miss Feisty herself, Dawn Gomela. Inside Force, Heather Johnson Cush. A 1,000 points with her left hand, 1,000 points with her right hand, Megan Johnson. She could play all 5 positions, Leah Mills. A little everything. She could make the argument as the greatest practice player of all time, Rachel, somebody guard me, Patterson. You will not beat her to a loose ball, Shauna. Leader and defender, Jody Sutton. And if you could manage to get past all of those outstanding athletes, you ran into Meg Dutt-Watson. Good luck. All right, guys, one more time. The Lady Eagles of 1998, 1999. Oh, yeah. He's not on the list, but let's have the head coach join them for the picture. During Gonna do the picture now or just closing statements? At the end, okay. Okay, so in the way of closing statements, we've been here. This is all I want to say. I want you guys to know, like I said at the offset, I love every one of you guys. You taught me so much about what it means to compete. All the coaching that we're doing now with our current athletes, we are using your stories, we're using your example to set the path. I love that Debbie is here to talk about it. She's been glowing with her appreciation for you guys and mentioning the fact that you don't know her. And that's what it means to do well and to maximize who you are, is that you don't know the work that God does with that, and how many people can be influenced by that. But your presence on this campus is still ever present. Now, with that said, it is my job to then ask of you, in your role as Hall of Famers, to join us more intentionally. Our university needs as much alumni presence as we can possibly get. And so while this day is about honoring you and your legacy, it is also entering into a esteemed status as an alum, where myself and others and coaches we are going to call on you guys, and we're going to say, we need you to come, give a speech, give a prayer, give some money, help us out. All right, that's what we're going to do. So, but everybody else, thank you so much for your time. Current Eagles, Coach Richter, coaches here, thank you for spending the time with us. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of homecoming, and please, please come to the football game. We're going to honor you again at halftime.